To throw, it's Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Room here to run. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles have moved out in front. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Here we go.
They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Cousins now on second down. Powers through. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Cousins from the gun on third. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. Now Sproles. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he loses the football a second time. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a second down throw for Cousins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Now this time, Wentz will throw. He'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On 1st down, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Wentz now to throw. Dancing to his left. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the...
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Let's go, let's go. Done.
2nd down, Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Running for it. Here's Cook. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to have a third down. And once again, they go with Sproles. And a short gain here down to the 22. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they just...
And it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last time didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too. So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter.
On the ball.
They run again with a jive. A little juke, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. And no, it's incomplete. Doug Pederson's guys come up empty here on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And out now come the Vikings. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
We're good, we're good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. 3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
That was so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Rhino! Two.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on 4th down.
Yellow!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. A beautiful fake. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, other side, solid.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now it's Ajayi. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. It's over the middle. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now Wentz. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Sheldon Richardson never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. To throw is Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on second down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
Check 26, check 26. Let's go, let's go.
Cousins to throw. Steps away to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be... Returnable, it's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's go, let's go.
The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. And that is incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously could not have an interception in this spot.
It nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back.
Go ahead, go ahead.
On third down, Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Ryan Quigley now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Sproles, the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Let's go.
Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On the move to his left. Open man has got it, the tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now Wentz will keep it. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that. Big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Now Wentz. Open man left side is Wallace complete. And now running right through it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. This is a giant. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Hang in there now.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Forced out to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Hey. Go, go. Lion.
Down to the 25. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So a big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here.